So, in order to get you thinking about the process you just went through, let's first talk about why you did it. Obviously, the primary reason you completed this research paper was because you had to. It was assigned as part of a grade. However, more than that, hopefully, you realized it was part of your education. Hopefully, an important part. So let's look at the word education for a minute. The word education comes from the Latin prefix a, meaning out, and the Latin suffix ducare, meaning to lead or draw forth. So based on its etymology, education means to lead or draw out. So what exactly did this assignment lead or draw out from you? Hopefully you thought about the word knowledge, which is what I wanted you to gain. So let's look at the word know. Our word to know comes from the Latin conoscere, meaning to know by the senses. Conoscere is also the root for our word cognition, which is what this entire reflection is about, metacognition. So, since we're breaking words down, let's look at metacognition. The prefix meta means above, beyond, or at a higher level. It's where we get words like metabolism and metacarpal and metaphysical. When we pair it with what we know about the Latin conoscere, which we change in English to cognition, or the act of knowing, knowledge, or consciousness, we get metacognition, or thinking about thinking. Metacognitive knowledge refers to what individuals know about, first, themselves as a thinking individual. Second, the demands a particular learning task asks. And third, different approaches or strategies that could be used for learning and problem solving. In order to control your own learning, you need to make adjustments to how you learn by thinking about three variables. So first is the person variable. That's you. What one recognizes about his or her strengths and weaknesses in learning and processing information. So you have to think about what strengths or weaknesses do you possess that will help you succeed or cause you to struggle? Do you know when to ask for help, or are you stubborn? Do you procrastinate, or are you good at time management? How can you avoid your weaknesses and utilize your strengths? The second are task variables. This is what one knows or can figure out about what a task requires, and therefore what thinking demands are required to complete the task. So you have to think about, are you going to focus on grammar, citation, analysis? How are you going to have to change your thinking in order to get done? Basically, what do you need to do and how are you going to do it? The last are strategy variables. The strategies that a person has to use in order to successfully accomplish a task are what we're looking at here. What are you going to need to do? What effort are you going to have to put in? And what background knowledge can you use? So, Jennifer Livingston provides an example of how all three work together. I know that I, person variable, have difficulty with word problems, task variable. So I will answer the computational problems first and save the word problems for last, strategy variable. This lets me think through my strengths, computation, in order to give them preference over my weakness, word problems. So now you're going to apply what you know about yourself, the task, and how you learned the skills in writing a metacognitive reflection. You're going to follow the prompts on Schoology to write a 2-paragraph reflection that takes into consideration what you know about yourself, how you completed the task, and what you learned as a result. This reflection should be its own page within the same Google Doc that you've written your research paper on. It'll go underneath of your works cited. So to recap, you need to follow the prompts on Schoology. It should be 2 paragraphs where you talk about what you know about yourself, how you wrote the paper, and what you learned. It'll be its own page, but on the same Google document you've been using all along. It will go under the works cited page. Again, ask for help in class tomorrow.